Hello everyone. First I want to say I'm sorry for not updating the channel for a while. I haven't actually uploaded a video for about a month. But we are still out there doing stuff, so this is going to be my first monthly recap. This is all of the highlights from March. Starting it off, this was the first Saturday of March. We wanted to do some farmers picks, and you can see it is back to being cold. This was 610 pounds or 305 per hand. And you can see that 2 reps, not very easy. That was a PR for me, first time I've ever attempted that weight. And so I decided to go again and try and get a hold. Just hold it up there as long as I could. And I think that was about 4 seconds. Yeah, give or take, 4 seconds. Not too impressive, right? And now on to Monday. We wanted to do a deadlift deload, but because it was a little bit warmer today, we decided let's do some stones. And what we tried to do here were some Atlas stone squats, which are very awkward. It's really hard to set it back down on yourself without it falling through your legs or putting you off balance. But this is something I've seen Clint Darden do, and it really makes sense, especially when you don't have a ability to just drop it off where we have to set up the pads and everything. This just makes it so you can get some more work in. And that platform is set significantly higher than we've been having it. And Glenn just couldn't finish that lockout. That was the 200-pound stone. So now on to me. Again, still using the 200-pound stone and just trying to do a couple of squats. And now you can see there what we're doing with the squat is getting our arms a little bit lower, almost like we would be doing a front carry with the Atlas stone. And that's just so that we can hold on to it when it comes back down. And the third one, I wanted to load it, so that went up pretty good. Was pretty happy with the speed on that. And decided I wanted to do a couple more just to get some actual loading in there, especially with that being that much higher. When I actually stood up next to this, my chin was resting on the wood. So it's definitely a lot higher than we were using. I want to say that's probably about 60 inches. That last one just did not go up. And even though this was a deload for deadlifts, I decided I wanted to use my biggest stone, which is currently the 240, until I have a chance to go out there and get the stones that Tony's making for me. Moving on now to the overhead press. This is the last set of 190 pounds. We did this for 5 sets of 2. Look at that! Look at that! My right arm just absolutely gave up on me. I did not want to finish that.
My right tricep was just like, hey, let's just take a break.
So that was a terrible grinder. And look at Glenn just making this look super easy. And Glenn's definitely back to being the better presser. It only took him a couple of months. So that's a little bit depressing for me. But it is what it is. And that was a pretty good workout. I mean, 5 for 2 at 190 is not too shabby based on where we are. And now this is now Thursday. And we're going into the squats. This is Glenn's top set of squats with 390 pounds. And he got that for 1 and went into 390 for me. Now this is where I had already hurt my hip and I wanted to try squatting. It was supposed to be 5s for me. And you can see I'm just not really steady, going slow, and I called it there. My hip went out, and that's something that happens to me occasionally, my left hip. The femur came out of the socket a little bit. So we decided to go ahead and do some benching. That was 305 pounds there. And there's my 305 for 2. That was pretty good. Moving on to Saturday, we decided to try and work on some speed yoke. This is 415 pounds that we are working on. And Glenn just moving it really fast, really good. And he's going to bring it back.
Are you set?
This is something that we've really got to work on.
1, 2,
developing
3,
the
go!
speed, and we just wanted to make sure that we're actually doing some speed work. And you can see the wagon sitting over there. I took a couple pictures, but didn't feel like spending up much more time than already going to take in this video. We decided to be smart, and instead of carrying all the plates out like we've done every single time we've ever done strongman, we actually loaded up on the new wagon I have and pulled it with my lawnmower. Doesn't that make more sense, right? Made cleaning up significantly easier too, guys. I'm not gonna lie. And as I mentioned, my hip is out. It's feeling terrible. I decided to go ahead and push through this. Anyways, on Friday, the day before this workout, I went to the chiropractor and tried to have it get reset, and it did not take. So it is just terrible sciatic pain. It's going through into my left glute all the way down my leg. Not feeling pleasant at all. And we decided let's just do one more run with 5:05. And that is not fast anymore. You can see that slowed us right down. And Glenn's still getting it all the way. The week before he did set it down once. And now over to me, and you can see I'm just kind of shaking that all over the place. My left leg is just feeling terrible. I feel like I have no stability with that hip, but I had to finish it, right? I mean, Glenn went before me, he finished it, so we're going to finish it, right? And this is the first time we're doing this, so I wanted to put this in here. And I apologize for the bad cameraing here. We were trying to play around with the zoom, and it didn't work really well. But we don't have a prowler, and I discovered we can push the yoke like you would a prowler. So this is 325 pounds, and we are just trying to do some cardio. You know, this is pretty fun. You can see it, we're sliding all over the place. This driveway is pretty crooked, and there is a little bit of a bump in the middle. And you can see Glenn here struggling with some mud. I was not very nice to Glenn. I threw it in the mud. But this is definitely a great cardio workout. I can see why people love and recommend the Prowler. And I'm sure a Prowler would be better than this. But a lot of it's similar. You're still having to push the weight. And you're getting that quad activation. You're getting the leg speed. Really feeling like you're driving into it. You can see there I'm just really using my weight to an advantage, let's be honest, guys. So, I really enjoyed this. Glenn, not so much. He's hating life right now with the cardio. The idea was he was supposed to be back, kind of jog back before I got it down to the end, and you can see he was just not going to do that. And this is the third run. Our plan going into this was to try and do 5. And you can see that Glenn is taking it right into the grass. He catches the big dip in the pavement. And yeah, he's not really happy right now between breathing and having all these equipment difficulties. And this is the problem with my driveway. I would much rather do all of the strongman stuff somewhere that's straight and doesn't have that big dip, and then there's a big bump right after it. I'm always worried I'm going to blow out my knee on that. You got to be careful, and it does slow you down, take some concentration out, especially when you're doing the yoke or farmers, because you're so worried about that dip and the bump that you can't focus on just getting speed and walking. But me, I wasn't too worried about it with this because no weight's on me. And I have no idea how long it's taken to get it run, but he said he was done, so I decided, you know what, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to go ahead and get those 5 runs. Almost hit the front of my car, which would have been great. Right into the dirt. Look at that. Oh, man, I steer this thing like a pro. Like I said, guys, this is just all over the place. Good thing there was nobody wondering whether or not we needed to drive in a straight line today, because we would have failed every test out there. You can see my daughter running past there. They were out having some fun in the sun. This is one of the nicest days that we've had this year. It wasn't windy, it wasn't really cold, so really just a great time with the family out there. And they did a little bit of stuff themselves. And oh, the slosh barrel. If you guys saw my strongman competition, you will remember that I completely failed at this. So I bought one. And this is the first time attempting it. And oh man, this thing is just awful. I hate this thing. But look at that. I got it almost all the way down, picked it back up, and I finished it. And that is me being happy. So that felt really good. And to make it even better, right before that, Glenn tried it and completely failed. So that made me feel really good about myself until he went and did this. The second attempt, he went all the way down. Look at that. He didn't even drop it.
Back now.
Didn't even set it down. Made my first run not as cool as I thought it was. And then to rub it in, he brought it back. So obviously, guys, I'm going to have to work on the slosh barrel, and I'm not looking forward to it at all. It is miserable. I do not like this thing. Now on to Monday, we're doing some deadlifts. This is 475 pounds, and Glenn just really catching up on these deadlifts very quickly, and doing the squats. He's getting better, but not quite there. His deadlift's coming back. I'm pretty sure that he's going to be pulling a new max within the next 2 months, if he decides to. This is definitely something that is working very well for him. And for me, I ended up having to go back to the chiropractor and get reset again. My hip was so out of place, and it just hurt really, really bad today, but I decided to do it anyways. And she told me I was going to be really sore. She really had to hammer it into place, and it ended up hitting a couple of muscles in my hip adductors, of all things, or abductors rather, and just really messed me up, but I still did the deadlifts. And here we go on Thursday. We decided to just do some benching. Glenn did do a little bit of lighter squat work and worked up to pretty decent 390. And he wanted to do 315 bench. You can see he's all over the place there, but he did lock it. Obviously, that would have failed in any sort of powerlifting competition, but that is his first time doing that since he's been back. And then I wanted to try it with my new grip whip, and it felt really good. I was really happy my butt didn't come off the bench, so that felt good. Now on to Saturday, I decided to try squatting again. This is 435 pounds, and everything's feeling back to normal now. So really, I want to give a shout out to my chiropractor at Hamilton Spinal Care out here in Michigan. Just really awesome. Thank you for putting me back together. I know it was pretty bad, out of place. Didn't rack that very well. And this is Glenn doing 390 pounds again. First one went up really good. And this is the first time he's ever attempted to go for a second with 390 pounds. And look at that. He got it. I did kind of poke him in the ribs there because I wanted him to drive back. But that was a rep PR for Glenn. And now me, this is 480 pounds. So this is not a PR. Made Glenn a little bit nervous there. He was debating whether or not he wanted to help me out. But I was really excited that I was back to being able to squat. So that was nice. And now on to deadlifts next Monday. And Glenn decided to just do one single there and call it. And I decided to go ahead. This was supposed to be a 1+, and this is 490 pounds. So this is really bad that this was as hard as it was. And I went for that second one and just didn't have it. I think I gave too much in the squat workout. But I want to throw this in here. This is the first time we've ever done banded deadlifts, and these are awesome. Did a set with 315, and then we did a set with 355, and just really awesome. I like this. The bands are supposed to be 50 pounds a piece. I don't know what we're getting out of those at the top, but I'm feeling like my hamstrings are failing. You could have see it in that last deadlift where I just have nothing at the top on the upper hamstring right now. So got to work on that. And I do have the GHR back now, so that is something that I'm going to be doing. But overall, March, there were some good things, but I wasn't having a very good month. I was struggling with the diet, struggling with work, stress, and having that hip go out and just go out that bad. that it bothered me for 2 weeks. Really took it out of me, and it killed my motivation to put the videos. But that is it for the month of March. I'll be putting some more videos up here soon. Goal is something heavy. Thanks for the support. Take it easy.